Well, it's Interstellar Radio. Today's date is May 9th, 2020. We have Gina on the line. Greetings.
Greetings.
Greetings. All
Hello.
right. Nice to hear from you again.
You too. A lot going on.
Yeah, definitely. We want to tell people, like a disclaimer, that this is our opinions. We don't know for a fact of what's going to happen in the future, but we're just putting out there of possibilities. So
Yes. It's important to note that this is really based on opinion only. Right. So we are not reporting facts. So you be the judge for yourself. Yeah.
Exactly. So you want to go into UFO, what your opinion is, what this year is, like a disclosure year? What are you feeling?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I've been saying it for a while now. In fact, when I did a show with you back after the new year was the predictions for 2020, before we even had a COVID experience going on, or before we had the official, unofficial release of the Pentagon's UFO photos that have been going around for a very long time, but now they've just made it quote unquote official. I think these are little hints that this is where we're headed. And I really was very comfortable bringing that up in January because I felt very strongly connected to a disclosure year. So I'm also feeling very close to the months around or surrounding July. And so how this works is there's everybody who's listening to this is awake enough to understand that we have a deep state war going on, right?
Yes.
And so you're going to have two stories happening, and they're conflicting. You have a deep state story, which is going to start bringing up the dangers of our UFO, the UFOs or potential UFO sightings and, invasions, and something related to that in a negative way to continue promoting fear. Because that's really how, that's the state in which the deep state wants to keep you is in a state of sheer fear. But then we have another side, which is really the side that is fighting for us, our liberty, our freedom, and that is the white hats. And we have an extraterrestrial beings working with the government that is fighting the deep state. So this is not just what you see or are hearing in third dimension. This war is happening outside of third dimension. It's happening at the same time. So there's going to be this fear being thrown at the public who are still not awake to understand what that the deep state is trying to do to them. So be aware of this possibility. But I feel that the extraterrestrials and working with the white hats are really where we're winning this battle, by the way, in my opinion. But that is really coming from not just the military, because your military right now is working to fight the deep state. And so the extraterrestrials working with our military right now to fight the deep state. So we need to watch out for those signs. But they are here. They're in our airspace. In fact, there was a mothership caught on a radar, apparently, Mr. MBB333 actually posted this.
Mhm.
I saw it today. I don't know if it was yesterday or today that he caught it, but on a radar that it appears to be a mothership in Canada over Idaho, like just above Idaho into Canada. And it was a really incredible, you should check it out. Mr. MBB333 had this, it was really very easy to see, actually. It's incredible, an incredible capture. So the reason I'm bringing this up is they are here, they have been here, but they're actually, you're going to see more and more. Everybody is going to see it. It's not just going to be, by chance or only those people that meditate. It's going to be really in your face.
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah.
Be open for this. And if you are a person listening right now that has been following UFOs and have awareness of this, you're going to be called to help these people, help them understand what's happening, because there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be struggling with that reality.
No doubt. Said around July, you felt where it might happen.
I'm sorry?
You felt around July it might happen?
I really feel strong about the month of July for something. I'm not 100% sure what it is. I know Independence Day falls in July, but I'm not talking about anything based on that. I just feel that month, that number has been in my head for a few years now, actually.
Oh.
Yeah, I see like fireworks. And so that is usually a New Year's or a 4th of July symbol for me as far as timing goes. And so, but after this whole thing happened when the corona started to become a main topic, that came right into my mind's eye, that's what this is about. Disclosure.
Yeah. Yeah, I believe it. Or what about the story about fake alien invasion? What do you feel on that?
Yes, 100%. That is absolutely going to be attempted by the deep state to promote fear. That is my opinion.
Well, I got one. Like, if say out there's a real visitation and then a fake one is to follow it.
That's correct.
Energy.
That is exactly how it plays out in my vision when I really want to focus on this topic. I don't know if you remember about a year or so ago, I talked to you about a lucid dream that I had about the disclosure happening. I don't know if you recall, and I said you were actually there with me, and we were just really very excited about this, the visitors that were coming, and and it was such a pleasant, beautiful experience that I was having in this lucid dream. But I understand that it's just foretelling the truth of what is going to be coming to us soon. This is truly the Great Awakening. It really, really is. And if others don't understand what that means, it's really worth your while to start really digging and doing some research.
Yeah,
because there's more than one rabbit hole to go down.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. And there's whatever this virus, this virus has different agendas. It did whatever. I mean, believe it or not, or whatever your beliefs, it still stopped the world basically. So,
I mean, to be honest with you, this is really the last chance we have to save our civilization as we know it. That is my opinion, but it is my very strong belief that we are really at that point. This is a very serious thing. Yeah. It's very serious that we need to fight for our freedom.
Yeah, I agree. Well, yeah, and some rights are being taken away, but that's the test, as you know.
It's being attempted. Mm-hmm. Let's just I believe that we are still in control. and winning this battle against evil. I really feel strong about that. But it's really can go either way right now still.
Yeah, because this is the thing isn't going away. It was, the virus isn't. I mean, people would like it to go away, but
well, let's just put it to you this way. I believe that the virus, being the bioweapon called Corona, was the starting point of this rollout. I think that was it. And so, to be honest, I believe also that our president and our military has the playbook. I also feel very strongly about Project Looking Glass. I feel like that played a role in that, which is a really great, beautiful thing.
Yeah,
it really is. I mean, I'm holding on to hope for that, but I do feel like there was something with that involved. I don't know enough about it to speak intelligently at all, but I do get a vision. What they show me is like a picture of it, and so I'm connecting it to Project Looking Glass, and I believe that is really why this is unfolding the way it is. A lot of people want instant results.
Yeah,
but because we're coming from a place of fear right now, we're coming from a place of not knowing. We don't know the playbook.
No.
I mean, some of us are tuning into it or receiving or following other information, and that's very helpful. But we have to allow things to unfold in order for disclosure to happen, in order for freedom to be given back to the people.
Yeah, it's like the energy I'm getting is like we do have this like alien visitation, and the government reacts, maybe not in the most positive way, and that's where the negativity will come from.
Yes. All the celebrities are going to come on board. Get back in your houses, right?
Something like that, yeah. Yeah, because when I feel the energy from the people, obviously feel a lot of stress for obvious reasons. It's like
so we're almost like split, right? So when I say that, I mean the numbers of the population split. So you have this portion, and I'm really hoping that it's way more people are awake, because a lot have been awakening during this entire process. So we have on one hand the people such as myself, your listeners, and some other folks that are awake right now. We will know that it's a fake, it's a false flag alien invasion. We're going to know that, because when you're awake, you can tap into that energy.
Yeah, I feel darkness coming from it.
Absolutely. Yeah. You'll know the difference.
Yeah.
But then you have, on the other hand, a tremendous amount, a large number of people that are still not awake yet. And to be honest with you, they're going to be shocked into being awake. And that's, that's where we're going to have to really play a role in helping people with this. And trying to get them to wake up now is really helpful.
Yeah.
We really need that. And so there's going to be the other half of the population that's going to be reactive to a false flag alien invasion.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. Well, even when the aliens do show up and they do touch down, some people are going to immediately go worship them too.
There will be some that are going to, yes. There are going to be some that are still not going to accept it as reality. They're going to still think that this is, listen, everybody needs to really think and go deep within yourself. The truth is there for you. My version, your version is not necessarily the version for everyone, right? So my feelings are that, the aliens have always been with us. They've always been, they've never left. But to be honest, the only way people are going to actually believe things is you have to show them, right?
Yeah.
I can tell people these stories of my experiences and with them, being in a ship, in my lifetime, that's covered as far back as I can remember. Not everybody's going to believe that. Call me crazy or tinfoil hat wearing person. And I'm used to it. I'm 52 years old right now. I'm over it. You could call me those names. I don't need your validation of that. I know what happened, right? But it doesn't. Me telling somebody that story doesn't necessarily mean they're going to believe me. They have to be shown. And I think that where we are right now, as a species, I think that's what it's going to take, is to have to show people. But then the trick is when, at what point, what is the right time? I don't have that answer. I'm sure that it's already been factored in for those that are going to do this. But I really believe that we're going to have a lot of people waking up once this happens. First, the fear, though. That's why they don't want you out of your house. They don't want you out of your house. This is not about protecting you at all. They don't want, my opinion is that they don't want you out of your house, because if you stay in your house, they can control you. The deep state can control you. They can continue to maintain control, as they have for generations. And that's why you have the good energy saying, go outside. We're going to open up. We're safe. So, got to listen to the doctors. Well, the doctors, to be honest with you, I don't know if people are listening. I read it, but the Surgeon General has announced very, very as matter of fact that it is unsafe for healthy people to wear masks. It is unhealthy to wear a mask. So if but you don't hear this being advertised on a megaphone on the news for the people that are who are not awake, because that's all they depend on, right? That's their news outlet.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in obviously if you're in a hospital environment with a patient, it's a different story, right, there.
But a healthy individual.
Yeah, exactly.
Wearing a mask is actually been proven by the doctors are talking about it a lot on the alternative news networks, not mainstream. But the Surgeon General put out this order the other day. I read it, and I'm like, I saved it on my phone. I was going to say printed it. And I saved it to my phone so I could share it with people who ask. If you're a healthy individual and, you're going outside, you don't have to wear a mask. It's actually causing more problems for you and suppresses your immune system.
Yeah, people go out. Yeah, they're in their cars with their masks. They're walking around with a mask outside. I mean, you're jogging or something, you're wearing a mask. Like, come on.
Well, you know what? It's sad to me because I feel bad because, they are coming from a place of fear, these people. Yeah. They really are. And, it's a very hard thing to see happening. But also, I had a man yell at me just the other day because he was complaining that the state was opening up and it's too soon and we're all going to get sick and this and that. And I said, well, listen, you're projecting your fears upon everyone else. There's other people that are ready to open up. They want that, we're given a protocol and we're following that protocol and, being respectful of those steps that have been provided to open up. So he was coming from a place of fear, and I knew that. So I was trying to be as gentle as I can with that response and saying, but you're projecting your fear. And don't forget, you have every single right to continue to keep quarantining yourself or, staying inside. You're not being forced to participate, is my point. So don't be afraid if other people are going out and going back to their life.
Yeah, because, well, I mean, the world is, now if you go to a restaurant, some places are saying wear a mask when you go in and then take your mask off when you eat and then put it back on when you leave. It's like, geez, how exciting. It's like,
right. Well,
sounds like fun.
I have to see how they roll out the plans because we've already started opening up certain establishments. But I don't believe that is happening where I'm from, around here, like north of me, because the county north of me is open. The county, the county, my county, and two others south of me are not officially opened yet, to like the rest of the state. So we don't have that in our restaurants where I live right now. But someone did tell me that was happening in their the woods. So, but I want to get back to the fear, because that's really what the negative energies working with the deep state. Because when we talk about aliens, we're not just talking about the positive ones that are helping the white hats, right? There is also negative energy that is working with the deep state. But I believe that our military is doing a lot of work to make sure that is not going to get very far. And I
have remember we had fires before all this. You had fires in the Amazon, and even Australia had a major fire. I guess well, I think it had something to do with cleansing, and now look at the world right now. And those are pretty bad fires.
Well, what I was really picking up about the Australian fires was it was definitely a deep state attack. Because Australia also is a hot spot for a lot of other things that are going on. I didn't really want to cover that topic tonight because there's a lot going on that's still not finished. But I felt like that Australia fire was definitely an attack.
Yeah, and you said something like the Panama or
in Florida. Florida, that was an attack. That was an attack. I believe. I'm not saying it's true. I believe that was an attack because it's a state that's trying to open. Yeah. So you see, the deep state is going to do everything they can to keep you in your house because they really don't care about you and I. That's really the unfortunate part of this. People believe that these people that participate in this group care about them, and that is very deceitful. Speaking of deceitful, I'll get into this. Remind me of that for a second here. But the truth is, they don't care. They only care about how are they going to control you. And so you've got to stay strong and trust your instincts and fight for your right, because it's no longer about this is not about a Democrat or Republican or black or white or religion. We are all one human race. And we're under attack.
Yep.
And we got to wake up. So remdesivir, that drug, right? Do you see that drug that came out? Remdesivir.
Cure for the virus, or
apparently. Well, if you break it down, it just came like when I read that. I received information that was downloaded immediately, and they said to me, remedy deceiver. So if you remedy deceiver.
I agree.
So if you Google remdesivir, you'll see what I'm talking about. It's just a misspell. So when I saw this, I said, oh my gosh, See, they're trying everything, and the download came in as Remedy Deceiver.
Mm-hmm.
REMD.
Yeah,
I gotta Google it.
Yeah, they have a couple of others out there.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, well, that's one of them they're pushing.
Yeah, I don't think they can. There's no way they can.
REMDESIVIR. Remedy Deceiver. Look it up. Yeah. See what you think.
Yeah, there's no way they can push mandatory vaccines. They don't have enough of it, but they can steer people into getting a vaccine, though. Which will happen.
I do not believe that that's going to happen. I do not believe. I know that a lot of things are very fearful right now, and it looks like people are starting to threaten that. Definitely, the threat is real. Not going to say that threat is real.
I don't know if you heard of. I just heard about this yesterday about doctors that are required to get vaccines because they do help people. They need to stay healthy. I thought that was interesting.
So I know that there are certain healthcare systems, specifically hospitals and doctors' offices, mainly in the hospitals, which I worked with many years back, and a hospice. I worked in a hospice for 7+ years. It was required for my job.
Interesting.
And every year I couldn't, back then in those days, I took it because I needed my job.
Yeah, of course.
But I got sick every time I was sick. No. That's how I reacted to it. But I really don't believe that it's going to get to the point where that's going to be a mandatory thing.
Yeah.
Because this is part of the strategy of exposing the deep state, flushing them out. Look at the states that are pushing back on opening.
Mm-hmm.
Pay attention to the resistance of that opening. Pay attention to who wants you to stay in your house. Pay attention to who wants you to remain ill. A vaccine, in my opinion, is not a cure. No vaccine is a cure, ever. It's not a cure. Vaccine is actually the virus that's going into your system to help build an immune system. But there's also something called herd immunity. So we are being prevented from simulating herd immunity right now, which is the natural response to fighting virus. You know, remember when back in the old days when I was a kid, it's a long time ago, if somebody had the chicken pox, everybody brought their kids over to your house to play with the kid so that they all got the chicken pox and got it over with. I don't know if people know that, but that really is true.
I never heard of that one.
It's true.
That's funny.
Yes, it happened.
Yeah.
It happened. If somebody had the chicken pox, they brought their kids over. They got so that they could get the chicken pox and got over it, and now they're immune and they'll never get it again. Because there was a myth. I don't know if it's true. I think that there's some validity to it. That if the older you got, the more dangerous it was. The older you were when you got chicken pox, it was dangerous.
Yeah.
So I think it's important to allow the body's mechanisms to fight off viruses. And the only way we can do that is we need to be together again. Because there's a psychological aspect of what's happening, and it's very seriously affecting people psychologically as well. Yeah, but I really know that our alien family is really here, very strongly protecting us. And I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, yeah, as they open things up, still people aren't really going out. So, I mean, the businesses are sort of getting better, but still they're like at half capacity of, recovering from all. So even if we're saying we're sort of recovering, we really aren't. It's just
Well, it's going to be a slow process, but so we didn't shut down automatically immediately. It was a slower It was a slow process to be in a total shutdown. It's going to be a slow process to reemerge. Mm-hmm. But we are moving in that direction. So
it's interesting. I mean, it's easy to close down, but not as easy to open back up.
No, because you're coming from a place of fear.
Yeah. And that's part of the awakening too. It's like when humanity was shut down from higher dimension energies, mm-hmm. You can say technically it wasn't that hard, and now we're here to open back up again, spiritually. And
you're getting resistance, though. Resistance from people that are still, like my story I shared with you about the gentleman who was angry that the state was opening.
Yeah.
Projecting his fear. Mm. And he called me a very bad name. Mm. And I just didn't say anything about it. I allowed him to just, express his feelings and be respectful of that. I had to be mindful that he's saying this because he's got fear.
Yeah, it's
he
amazing.
Doesn't know me, so he can't hate me because he doesn't know me. He I'm challenging his thought process.
Yeah, I mean the mind, it can go all over the place. It's amazing how the mind can, easily be manipulated. You can say, in some regard.
Yeah.
It can be like the best thing ever happened to you and the worst thing ever happens to you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Nobody said the awakening was easy.
No, not at all.
Not one. In fact, it's one of the hardest things you're going to have to do in your life.
Yeah,
it really is. It is hard, and it's very lonely sometimes.
We're definitely gearing up for something. It seems like the next phase, and that's like aliens or something. I don't know, something.
So, what we're gearing up for is those of us that are awake. We still don't know everything, so it's almost like another phase of learning and the exposure of things that are so mind-bending. We need to be aware that that's possible. That we're going to be awakened to something much more than we could even imagine.
So, you're aware of the astral realms, obviously, there's like a war going on between astrally for alien disclosure.
Yeah.
And you don't see it here physically. It's like the hidden war, We have
but a lot of people are feeling something.
Exactly.
So what they're feeling is that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. They don't know why they're tired or why they're worn out. It's like they just wake up in the morning, they're still worn out. It's like, because there's a lot going on astrally.
And some of us are traveling there.
Exactly.
And participating.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I woke up the other morning, and I had marks again.
Oh well, yeah, that's very common for some people. Yep.
I had a little hole in my neck. It wasn't bleeding or anything. It was like a tiny little hole, and then like I had a triangle bruise on my upper elbow. I mean, my upper arm above my elbow. It was the shape of a triangle, and it was a bruise.
Yeah, there's a story I tell people. I forgot the whole scenario, but a friend of mine and she's talking to this girl about the awakening or the Men in Black or something like that. The girl, I guess, had a dream about being attacked, I think, by a Men in Black agent. She woke up and she had like a scar on her.
Like, oh wow!
She got blasted.
Well, yeah, because we don't necessarily sleep. We're not sleeping and nothing, and then the world stops. No.
Yeah.
I believe that when we go to sleep, we're traveling outside of our bodies to be living in another version of ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's always been something I've always felt, even when I was a child, because we've all been doing this. Yeah. Sometimes, like Men in Black is really a very good example because yes, I do know it's a movie, but you are not to remember. You're not to have memories when you come back to this dimension because you actually can't hold that information at this vibration.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because it won't unless it works. I mean, unless it helps you in this life, and you're normally it doesn't. Yeah, you can erase your own mind, or someone else will do it for you.
Yeah,
and usually we do it ourselves.
What I mean by erasing your memory is when you're asleep.
Yeah.
I mean, where you haven't experienced the awakening yet. So you're not making the correlation to your higher self and other versions of yourself quite yet. Mm-hmm. You're going to just call it a dream, right? What an awful dream I had, or I don't know what my dream was, but I was really, But when you are awake and you are connecting to your other versions of yourself, those dreams now we call lucid dreams, right? They're like real dreams. So it's really telling you a story of other versions of yourself, and you are a part of that. You are a part of that. Because energy doesn't die. So, I want to get into the negative energies, but that's really what they're trying to get from you.
Well, here I got one for you that's off, sort of, it's on topic, but some people have dreams where they're on another version of Earth. Like they're with a different partner, different world altogether.
100%, I believe that. Absolutely.
Exactly. It's just like they're with a whole different type of sexuality, or even they're a whole nother different gender. So.
Well, I don't remember who it was that I was listening to. They were telling me that there was another planet that resembled Earth very much.
Yeah.
In another dimension, in another galaxy.
Yeah. Yep.
And but it was discovered that it had a lot of the same features as Earth. Mm-hmm. So who's to say that that's not our other home? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have you tapped into another?
Like this world's very dense. We get tested more. You probably heard the story. This is like the Harvard of planets, or this is one of the hardest worlds. One of them, at least. Because we don't really see what's happening here. We don't see dragons flying around. We're not, we don't see superpowered people flying around. So it's a more difficult world that we just don't see anything.
Right. Yeah. Well, we only see a very small portion of what's really happening.
Yeah.
With our eyes.
Yeah, because it's a whole different type of way of looking at, you have to create your reality or tap into the other realms, because those other realms are closed down from us. So, like, people remember themselves flying. They have an urge to fly, or
absolutely,
whatever it might be. Yeah. So.
Oh, without a doubt, or speaking another a language.
Exactly. Yeah.
Absolutely. I have a friend who speaks another language.
Oh, like a galactic language, or a
galactic language.
Yeah. When I was a kid, I was talking weird. I was talking something that was not Spanish or German, or just something that was totally in, of course now you understand it, but back then,
Yeah, that's right. And when you're a child, you didn't disconnect yet, right? You were still halfway, you were between different dimensions, right? Because babies babies that's the beauty of the babies.
Yeah.
And the children.
Yeah, exactly.
They are closer to the other side than they are this side.
Yeah.
And so sometimes that can happen, or even some people believe that with reincarnation, the children remember their life before, and they will tell you exactly who they were in history books. Yeah. That's been something that has been reported on before. But yes, I do have a friend who speaks a galactic language. And I do write. And I've been writing symbols my whole life.
Yeah.
When I have
Cool.
a pen or a paper in front of me, I'm writing some things down. I don't know what it is, but it's like a pattern.
Like code, yeah.
It's like they're symbols.
Kind of
Yeah.
like you're writing down crop circles, something like that.
I'm writing a language that I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been practicing that. I stopped recently, of course, but there was a time when I was really discovering this through my meditations. I kept seeing symbols, and I said, I just wonder what would happen if I try to put a pen in my hand. So with my eyes closed, I would try, and I just was actually writing very rapidly.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't having to think about it. It just was just going. It was just happening. So I still have a couple of those writings that I kept because I thought someday I will understand that.
Yeah. Psychically, yeah. When the time's right, yeah.
Yeah, not now though. I just write it. But yeah, so we all are more than what we think.
Mm-hmm.
And we just have to tap into it, trust it, because this is your own personal journey. We each have, but we're not all here together by accident either.
Not at all.
We're all connected, and there's a reason for us to be experiencing the Great Awakening together.
Yeah, I have one for you that's kind of coming to mind. So like, you have like a couple that conceived to have a baby. And the energy, I feel like maybe not all situations, but sometimes for that soul to enter, there's kind of like a war in some ways of who can get in to be, to be born. I feel like there's some situations like that. I don't think it's all.
Oh, I believe that. I do believe that to be true.
Yeah.
That is true. Just, I know what you're saying, and I've seen this in my mind's eye many times.
I see it in my mind's eye.
Mm-hmm. Where
nowhere.
It's like sometimes maybe the baby would, we have people who have miscarriages or they just can't conceive. I feel like that this is that battle, that challenge. So when I work with women who come to see me for healing that are trying to conceive, that's a lot of what I work on with them is to open that channel and to free and make it accessible.
Yeah, that's quite common actually, isn't it? Where they can't conceive.
Yes. Well, there's been other external causes, in my opinion, that contribute to a generation that is having difficulty bringing in more energy.
Yeah, do you think this is more happening now than it happened in the past?
100%.
I bet.
100%. When my great grandmother can have 13 children.
Jeez.
When my great grandmother can have 13 children, why are women today having these challenges?
Yeah.
Well, there's many reasons for them, external reasons in this 3D dimension that are negatively induced, in my opinion. However, like I said, some of the works that I do with these women is we work on opening up those channels and removing the blocks that were put there. Another way that I believe works is acupuncture, who is that technique of acupuncture also does very similar, has similar results because it is opening up meridians and clearing blockages of those meridians for new energy to flow.
Mm-hmm.
So that is something that I have seen before and have some positive feedback. It's not easy. It's not. It's just not a. It doesn't happen overnight. But the recipient absolutely feels the differences.
Here I have one that's you this is like way out of nowhere, but like the Atlantean beings, like you feel like some of them were like humanoid cat people. Some of them looked animal like. See what you feel on that. And they evolved to human. We evolved into a human face, or
Are you asking me if they are?
What do you feel about that? Like we have, yeah.
Well, when it comes to the Atlanteans, I can talk more about Lemuria.
Yeah, sure.
Because that's where I lived in Lemuria. I was actually working as a healer in Lemuria, which is mimicking the same work I do every time I come back here. So one of the things that I was a more Lemurian, but yet there was crossbreeding believed to be happening at the time when the Atlanteans were going to Lemuria. And I was working as a healer at the time they were being coming onto the island. So I really wasn't connecting with them as much as I was only there to heal. This is the only job I was given. So I can't really tell you how I feel about that. My only job and requirement of my memory and memory back to Lemuria working with the Atlanteans was that I was my job was to do a healing on them.
Interesting. What about the Lemurians? I feel like some of them were mermaid people also. Water some of them could breathe underwater without a problem.
Oh, they all could breathe underwater.
Fascinating. Yeah.
To some point, yes, but at some point, like any. So why was I healing them? You bring up this point because I go back to. So I will share with you another lucid dream.
Okay.
That validated my feelings going back to Lemuria being a healer. Is that they were coming onto shore from the water. Now, to me, it's like a fish coming out of water. So when they came onto the land, that's why I was there to heal them, because they were coming, fish out of water.
Oh yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
If you're following what I'm saying, so they were having difficulties once they hit the land.
Yeah,
and that was my job, was to work with them in the healing and transition period, and that I remember very specifically, very, very specifically. But it wasn't only the Atlanteans that were coming over. There were others that were coming to land that were having a hard time accepting what was going on. It's almost like that was, another awakening time.
Yeah, definitely.
But that would be what I feel when I talk about the Atlanteans, and if I were to based on my experience, I would say they're more fish than they would be cat.
Okay. Well, there's different types. There's all different.
And it's absolutely. I just don't know. I just don't connect to that. So that may be the version of just limited to where my experience was with the fish-like.
What about think about Martian energies on the planet during that time? Do you think there was a visitation from Mars?
On Atlantia or Lemuria?
Or Earth in general in the past?
There still is.
Yeah, so exactly, but yeah.
Well, the president has said that our Space Force is on a mission to go to Mars.
Yeah, so there's Yeah, indication that they're
So
here.
there was a reason why he would mention that. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. What about mermaids and currently? What do you feel on them?
And they're aliens.
Yeah, but they are here though, right? Yeah.
Yes.
We just they just
Now,
don't.
I'm going into a reading, so for those people that don't know me or don't understand, sometimes I will get a little stern with my response because I'm doing a reading, so I am just giving you the messages.
Okay, sure.
I'm going deep now. I'm going to the alien bases under the water. This is where you're taking me right now.
Oh, interesting. What about what do you say? Well, yeah. What about the alien bases underwater? What do you feel? They're getting wider, more positive.
They're being called into action.
Interesting.
To war, deployed.
Yeah. Jeez.
What? What is our ship's new mission right now?
Yeah.
The ships have a new mission right now.
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah. All right. Okay. We probably want to close her out. Anything you want to say before we
So watch your water. If you live near the water, it's very good to observe the water. Because a lot of, for those that are waiting patiently or impatiently to see the visitors come, know they're already here and you can call upon them to present themselves to you. But be very cautious in that you are calling in positive light.
Yeah.
And you follow your heart. You must lead with your heart, because when you call from your heart, then they will come. But you must look to them towards the water. Stop looking up all the time. We're not always up. Well, sometimes we're down already. We're down here. We're here. We're next to you. So look to the water if you can. But understand the aliens are already here working with your government. They're good. They're doing the good work.
Excellent. Okay.
And your God is here with you. Your God will protect you. I don't mean of religion. I mean the God of Almighty and universal light. He is protecting and will be protecting you through this war that we are at right now. You are winning.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right. Blessings. Thank you for coming on. So,
Namaste.
All right. Blessings.